Today we have somewhat an unusual video because it's a newer car. It's a 2017. Car is on the left, and the only reason we're taking a video of this one is because we have a customer who is concerned about rust situation since this car spent most of its life up north. So let's take a look and see what it has. Now the one good indication is this spare wheel, because I don't understand why Lexus and Toyota can't get it right, but their aluminum wheels oxidize, and especially when they're exposed to northern climate, they start looking really bad. Now this one, as you can see, looks great, and it doesn't really have any oxidation, and it looks pretty good. The rest of the wheels, by the way, also look fine. They don't bubble, they don't have any paint issues, which again, it's often a case on Lexus vehicles, even the ones that spent their lives in Florida. So let's look at how much rust we have on this car. I've already looked at it briefly before taking this video, and I can tell you that the only rust that I can see is surface stuff on things like this bolt, for example, and some other elements that don't have any rust protection. Everything else actually looks pretty good, and obviously the frame is not gonna rust on a car of this age, so the frame looks great. Speaking of being under this car, there's no issues with any leaks. The engine, transmission, everything looks really good. And again, there is really no rust anywhere that I can speak of that I would say it's structural rust, but when I show you things like these little washers here and that bolt, again, surface rust on these things doesn't even look too terrible, and little bolts like that. This is just a little cap. I think you unscrew it to drain oil. So you know, some surface stuff will be there, but it doesn't look too crazy, and there is definitely no rust on the car itself. Now this shield over here, we see them rust a lot, even on Florida cars, because somehow water gets above, and when it drains through these holes, it can create rust, especially around these holes. So there is again some surface stuff on this shield, but this shield is just a bolt-on part. It's just being held with some bolts. So even if it rusts through at some point, which doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon, but even if you want to replace it sometime in the future, it's probably 4 or 5 bolts that hold it in place. I don't really see anything else. It does look pretty decent. Let's keep in mind it's a 7-year-old car, but it looks good to me. The next video will be walk around.